James Comer, a prominent figure in American politics, has recently garnered significant attention with his bold assertions regarding former President Barack Obama. These claims, which delve into both alleged revelations and conspiracies, have sparked widespread controversy, prompting many to question the integrity of Obama's legacy. Comer's allegations focus on deeply personal matters and politically charged secrets, rekindling old debates while introducing new dimensions to long-standing conspiracy theories. Chief among these is the claim that Obama is secretly gay, an accusation that Comer has propelled into the public sphere, sending shockwaves across the political spectrum. Comer suggests that many of Obama's personal choices and decisions during his presidency are part of a concealed narrative, intentionally hidden from the public eye. While conspiracy theories surrounding public figures are not uncommon, Comer's accusations carry weight due to his established role in politics. Unlike fringe commentators, Comer holds a notable position in shaping political discourse, particularly among right-leaning voters. For years, rumors about Obama's sexuality had been confined to the fringes of conspiracy theory circles, lacking substantial evidence. However, Comer's recent disclosures breathe new life into these claims, suggesting there may be more hidden beneath the surface. Comer alleges that certain aspects of Obama's past were deliberately obscured to maintain the image of a perfect family man and progressive leader. He further claims that Obama had secret relationships with men throughout his adult life, and that powerful figures within the Democratic Party and the media suppressed this information to protect his public image. Comer contends that during Obama's 2008 presidential campaign, his team worked tirelessly to suppress any information that could have jeopardized his political aspirations. If true, these revelations would have been career-ending for any politician at the time. Comer's claims suggest that the public image of politicians is often carefully managed to serve political objectives. His accusations also echo older conspiracy theories, such as the man's country theory, which alleges that Obama frequented a Chicago-based gay men's club before rising to national prominence. Although dismissed by mainstream outlets, Comer's statements have rekindled long-standing suspicions, leading many to wonder whether there is any truth to these rumors. If Obama's alleged relationships were indeed covered up, it would imply that much of what the public sees is a facade manipulated for political purposes. Furthermore, Comer argues that the concealment of Obama's personal life was not merely a tactic to protect his career, but was intricately linked to the progressive agenda he championed. He claims that Obama's advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights during his presidency was less about advancing civil rights and more about hiding in plain sight. Comer portrays Obama's support for same-sex marriage and LGBTQ+ rights as self-serving, suggesting that these policies were driven by personal motives rather than moral conviction. At the core of Comer's accusations lies the question of authenticity. If Obama concealed such significant aspects of his life, what else might other leaders be hiding? Comer's revelations also highlight the broader issue of homophobia in politics. While American society has become increasingly accepting of LGBTQ+ individuals, the reality is that even today, many politicians feel the need to hide their true selves to achieve success. Comer's revelations imply that Obama, despite being a vocal supporter of gay rights, may have felt the same pressure, leading him to live a double life to secure his political future. The irony of a president who advanced LGBTQ+ rights while allegedly concealing his own sexuality creates a compelling narrative, tapping into the complex dynamics of identity politics and public perception. This narrative aligns with a broader discourse on conspiracy theories that have haunted Obama since his emergence on the national stage, from questions about his birthplace to his faith. Obama has long been the subject of intense scrutiny, much of it fueled by conspiracy theories questioning his loyalty, identity, and legitimacy as president. Comer's claims about Obama's sexuality, though deeply personal, tap into these broader conspiracies and have reignited them. A major theme Comer emphasizes is the concept of puppet strings within American politics. He suggests that Obama, far from being an independent actor, was controlled by unseen forces throughout his political career. According to Comer, the decision to conceal Obama's sexuality was not a personal one, but was orchestrated by political elites and media figures who stood to gain from his rise to power. In this framework, Obama becomes a figurehead, a charismatic personality whose true self was intentionally hidden while he was used as a tool to advance specific interests and ideologies. Comer's theory that Obama was part of a broader network of manipulation raises concerns not only about the former president, but also about the entire political system. If one of the world's most powerful individuals was used as a pawn, how much of what the public sees from its leaders can truly be trusted? This question lies at the heart of Comer's expose, touching on the fears many hold about modern politics, that leaders are not genuinely in control but are instead influenced, directed, or even coerced by those operating behind the scenes. For Comer's supporters, this narrative fits seamlessly into a broader understanding of how power functions in Washington. Many believe, particularly among populist factions, that there is a deep state, a shadowy network of unelected bureaucrats, media elites, and corporate interests that control the political landscape. The idea that Obama was either complicit in or a victim of these forces aligns with this worldview, offering a convenient explanation for the policies he pursued and the public persona he maintained. According to Comer, the carefully curated image of Obama as a progressive, thoughtful, and compassionate leader was exactly that, an image propped up by powerful interests motivated not by a desire to serve the American people, but by a need to maintain control over the political system. One of the most striking aspects of Comer's revelations is the question of complicity. If others in power knew of Obama's alleged secrets, it raises the possibility of a coordinated effort to hide the truth from the American public. Comer's claims have led to renewed scrutiny of Obama's inner circle, as well as key figures in the media who may have been aware of these issues but chose not to report on them. In this scenario, the media, often seen as a watchdog of democracy, becomes complicit in the very deceptions it is meant to expose. Comer's accusations feed into growing distrust of the mainstream media, especially among conservative circles, where there is already a strong belief that the press is biased in favor of liberal figures like Obama. In addition to the media, Comer implicates high-ranking Democratic Party officials, suggesting that key figures within the party were aware of Obama's personal life, but chose to keep it hidden to preserve his political viability. If true, this would imply that Obama's rise to power was not merely a result of his charisma and political acumen, but the product of a carefully orchestrated effort to protect his secrets while using his public image to further the party's agenda. As the public wrestles with Comer's assertions, a major concern that surfaces is how this information, if accurate, could have altered the trajectory of American history. Obama's presidency is frequently viewed as a pivotal moment, not only due to the policies he enacted, but also because of his role as the first black president of the United States. Obama epitomized progress, hope, and the potential for a more inclusive future. His election was seen by many as a rejection of America's racist history and a move towards a more just society. Nonetheless, Comer's disclosures, especially those regarding Obama's purported sexuality, complicate this narrative. If Obama's personal life was concealed from the public, it raises questions about the extent to which his presidency was guided by genuine leadership versus strategic image management. For many of Obama's supporters, this is an unsettling possibility. His presidency represented more than just policy. It embodied identity and the notion that America could have a leader who embodied its highest ideals. Comer's accusations challenge this portrayal, suggesting that the public's perception of the White House occupant may not reflect the complete truth, but rather a meticulously crafted image. While some might contend that a politician's private life should remain personal, Comer's claims extend beyond mere gossip or conjecture. He is suggesting that these concealed aspects influenced his presidency in ways that remain unclear to the public. If accurate, this would have significant consequences for how we view Obama's legacy and the decisions made during his tenure. Did Obama implement certain policies out of genuine conviction, or were some of his decisions influenced by a need to keep his personal life secret? This is the critical question raised by Comer's allegations, touching on the core of how we assess political leadership. Another significant consequence of Comer's claims is the potential impact on the Democratic Party itself. If influential figures within the party were involved in obscuring the truth about Obama, it would represent a severe breach of trust with the American public. The Democratic Party has long portrayed itself as the party of transparency, progressivism, and social justice. Comer's allegations suggest that this image may be as meticulously crafted as Obama's own, raising questions about how much the party's leaders are willing to compromise their values in the quest for power. For Republicans, this narrative is advantageous, as it aligns with long-standing critiques of the Democratic Party as hypocritical and deceitful. For Democrats, it presents a serious challenge. forcing them to confront the possibility that one of their most iconic leaders may have concealed important truths from the public. Comer's allegations also have considerable cultural implications. Obama's presidency was not just a political milestone, it was a cultural phenomenon. As the first black president, Obama shattered barriers that had long seemed impenetrable, and his election was seen as a symbol of racial progress in America. For many, his presidency represented the realization of the civil rights movement's promise, that America could overcome its racist past and embrace a more inclusive future. However, Comer's claims about Obama's sexuality complicate this narrative, necessitating a re-evaluation of what his presidency truly represented for some. The possibility that Obama may have concealed his sexuality due to fears of political repercussions underscores how far America still has to go in terms of LGBTQ+ rights. Despite Obama's advocacy for progressive causes, including marriage equality, Comer's allegations imply that he may have felt unable to fully embrace his own identity. If true, this represents a tragic irony. The president who advanced gay rights in America might have been unable to fully embrace his own truth due to fears of losing political power. Simultaneously, Comer's revelations could embolden those who believe that the political left is not as progressive or inclusive as it claims to be. For conservative critics, Comer's accusations reinforce the belief that the Democratic Party is more concerned with power than with principles, and that its leaders will go to great lengths to hide their own hypocrisy. In this view, Obama's alleged concealment of his sexuality is not just a personal matter, but a symbol of a broader culture of deceit within the party. As the consequences of Comer's claims continue to unfold, one of the most pressing questions is how Obama himself will respond. So far, the former president has largely remained silent on the issue, opting not to address the allegations directly. This approach may be intended to avoid giving undue attention to the claims, but it also leaves many questions unresolved. For Obama supporters, his silence might be seen as a dignified refusal to engage with unfounded rumors. For his critics, however, it could be interpreted as an admission of guilt, a refusal to confront uncomfortable truths about his past. As James Comer's revelations continue to circulate, they are reshaping not only public perceptions of Barack Obama, but also the entire landscape of modern American politics. Comer's boldness in making such deeply personal allegations against a former president has moved beyond mere political theater. It has become a phenomenon with far-reaching and complex ramifications, possibly beyond what Comer himself anticipated. These claims have become emblematic of a larger struggle between transparency and secrecy, authenticity and deception, trust and betrayal. The shockwaves caused by Comer's accusations touch on some of the most contentious and sensitive aspects of American political culture. In the weeks following the initial revelations, public discourse has shifted from whether Obama might have concealed his sexual orientation to why such a thing would need to be concealed at all. The social, political, and cultural implications of the allegations have ignited debate on multiple fronts about the nature of leadership, the pressures of public life, and how identity can be weaponized in the political arena. One of the most pressing questions emerging from Comer's accusations is the role of identity in modern politics. Since the 1960s, identity politics has become increasingly central in American elections. Whether related to race, gender, sexual orientation, or religious affiliation, these aspects of identity are critical in how politicians present themselves and are judged by the public. For Obama, identity was a defining feature of his political career, from his status as the first black president to his symbolic importance as a figure of unity and progress. Comer's allegations challenge this narrative by suggesting that Obama's public identity might have been incomplete or even intentionally obscured. For many, the possibility that Obama may have concealed significant aspects of his identity raises profound concerns about the pressures to conform to certain public expectations. This prompts a reconsideration of the expectations placed on politicians regarding the presentation of a wholesome or acceptable image. This is particularly relevant in terms of sexuality. Despite advancements in LGBTQ+ rights over recent decades, American politics remains a space where authenticity about sexual orientation can still be seen as a potential liability, especially for those in positions of great power. If Obama indeed felt compelled to hide his sexual orientation, what does that reveal about the current state of LGBTQ+ acceptance in American politics? While progress has been made, same-sex marriage is now legal nationwide, and openly gay politicians have achieved notable success. The notion that a prominent figure like Obama might have lived a double life speaks to the limitations of this progress. This raises broader questions about how much more needs to be done to create an environment where leaders can be fully open about their identities without fear of political repercussions. In light of Comer's claims, the broader implications for future LGBTQ+ politicians are significant. If a trailblazing figure like Obama allegedly felt the need to suppress his true identity, what message does that send to the next generation of political leaders? The notion that even in an era of apparent social progress, leaders still feel constrained by rigid expectations of heteronormativity suggests that the political arena remains a place where authenticity is often sacrificed for political viability. This has led some commentators to argue that the culture of secrecy Comer describes is not unique to Obama, but reflects the larger pressures faced by politicians in a highly scrutinized environment. Beyond personal identity issues, Comer's accusations also highlight significant questions about the media's role in shaping political narratives. According to Comer, a vast network of influential media figures was complicit in concealing Obama's alleged secrets from the public. This aspect of the story resonates deeply with those who already harbor suspicions about media bias and corruption. If true, it would mean that the media, traditionally seen as the institution responsible for holding the powerful accountable, might have played a direct role in maintaining a false narrative about one of the most prominent political figures of the 21st century. Comer's revelations tap into long-standing concerns about the erosion of trust between the public and the press. For many Americans, particularly on the political right, the mainstream media is viewed with skepticism, seen as a tool of the liberal elite rather than an impartial observer. Comer's accusations thus reinforce these sentiments, suggesting that powerful media figures prioritize protecting certain political figures over reporting the truth. In this context, Obama's alleged secret becomes a symbol not only of personal deception, but of a broader system of political manipulation. If, as Comer suggests, the media was aware of Obama's alleged secrets and chose not to report them, it raises challenging ethical questions about journalistic responsibility. Should the private lives of politicians be reported on, particularly when they involve aspects of personal identity like sexuality? Or should there be a boundary between public and private that the media respects, even if it means withholding information from the public? Comer's allegations bring these ethical debates back into focus, compelling both journalists and their audiences to reconsider the role of the media in revealing or concealing the personal lives of public figures. The political fallout from these revelations extends beyond questions of Obama's personal life or the media's role in shielding him. Comer's accusations have also sparked a broader discussion about the transparency and honesty of the political establishment. If the Democratic Party, and by extension the broader political establishment, was involved in hiding crucial truths about a sitting president, this points to a much deeper issue within the American political system. In an era marked by low trust in institutions, Comer's claims reinforce the notion that those in power are willing to deceive the public to maintain control. This narrative of deception resonates strongly in today's political climate, with the rise of populist movements across the spectrum. There is growing discontent with the so-called elites, who are perceived as disconnected from the concerns of ordinary citizens. Comer's allegations tap into this frustration, suggesting that Obama's meticulously crafted image was not merely a political strategy, but part of a larger pattern of dishonesty and manipulation within the political class. For many Americans, the recent revelations about Obama's identity only confirm their deepest fears about the corruption within the political system and intensify the yearning for leaders who are genuinely authentic and transparent. The repercussions of these allegations are extensive, particularly as the nation approaches future elections. With the trust gap between voters and political leaders already at a critical juncture, Comer's claims could profoundly affect public perceptions of candidates. Voters, who have grown increasingly disillusioned by decades of political scandals and perceived dishonesty, might become even more wary of the crafted personas presented during campaigns. Authenticity, already a highly valued trait in modern politics, could gain even more significance as voters seek leaders they believe they can trust. Leaders who are honest about their true selves, unlike the portrayal of Obama in Comer's allegations. Furthermore, Comer's accusations could alter the focus of political discourse, extending beyond individual candidates to question the role of political parties in shaping their leaders' public images. It prompts a broader inquiry into whether the public ever truly sees the real person behind the campaign persona. If Obama's identity was managed by the Democratic Party to such an extent that his genuine self was obscured, it raises questions about the extent of control other political figures have over their public personas. Are they able to present their authentic selves, or are they constrained by the demands of party image makers and political strategists? This question reflects a larger conversation about the nature of leadership in the 21st century. In an era where public figures are expected to be relatable and connect personally with voters, what happens when those figures are not forthright about their true identities? Comer's claims encourage a re-evaluation of the qualities we seek in our leaders and the extent to which our perceptions of them are genuine versus manufactured. If Obama's alleged concealment of his true identity was driven by political strategy, it suggests that contemporary political leadership might prioritize maintaining a carefully crafted image over authentic voter connection. In addition to the personal and political implications of Comer's claims, there's a broader cultural impact that must be considered. Obama's presidency symbolized more than just political change. It marked a significant cultural transformation in America. As the first black president, Obama was seen as a departure from the past, an emblem of hope and change for millions. His presidency represented not just policy shifts, but the notion that America could overcome barriers of race, class, and background. Comer's allegations complicate this narrative by implying that Obama's ascent to power may not have been as straightforward as it appeared. If Obama was concealing fundamental aspects of his identity, it raises questions about the authenticity of his presidency and whether the cultural shifts he symbolized were as genuine as they seemed. This cultural critique resonates deeply in a country increasingly divided by race, class, and identity, where the debate over America's future is ongoing. For Obama supporters, his presidency was a milestone moment in American history, an indication that the nation was moving towards a more inclusive and progressive future. Therefore, Comer's allegations extend beyond personal scandal to potentially unravel one of the most powerful symbols of recent progress. If Obama was concealing something as fundamental as his sexual orientation, it provokes uncomfortable questions about the true extent of progress made and whether the cultural shifts Obama represented were as authentic as they seemed. Thank you for watching another episode of my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on more exciting content. See you next time.